Okay, this unit is Build the Object Model. It is the second unit on the Build a Battle Station app project, which is part of the Admin Intermediate Trail. My name is Jeff Alhadeff. You're welcome to join me on my journey to become a Salesforce administrator as I work my way through this unit. If I come across anything that seems a little confusing or I got hung up on, I'll link to it in the description below, so you can just jump down there and jump right to that problem, or you could just listen to me as I babble along and try to make sense of this. Okay. And yeah, I'm chilly, so I'm wearing a jacket. Whatever. Okay, what you'll do: add fields to the Battle Station custom object. Create a resource custom object and fields, and create a supply custom objects and fields. Let me do this. Okay, let's get that open. Okay, overview of objects. The Salesforce platform provides a powerful database with many features that make it faster and easier to create applications. Unlike spreadsheets or relational databases that store data in rows and columns, the Salesforce platform uses objects to store data. Yeah, my metaphor is just not working for me still. Objects contain all the functionality you expect in a spreadsheet or database, with additional enhancements that make them more powerful and versatile. Each object comprises a number of fields which correspond to columns in a spreadsheet or a database. Data is stored in records of the object which correspond to rows. If I was just learning this for the first time, that would make no sense to me, and I'd have to repeat it a billion times. A lot of the admin beginner trail hits these concepts pretty hard. So objects has fields, which corresponds to columns. Data is stored in records, which correspond to the rows. Okay, fine. Object, field. Fields are built on objects, which the metaphor doesn't make sense, but it's not a metaphor. It's just repurposing a word that means something completely different in a different place. I'll get over that at some point in my life, maybe. There are two types of objects: standard objects. These objects are included with Salesforce by default. For example, the objects used to store data in standard tabs, such as accounts, contacts, or opportunities. So if you ever want to sell timeshares in your battle station, the CRM functionality is already there. I love this unit. Okay, two reasons. A, this was super cute, and Chris Duarte, I see your fingerprints there. By default, not out of the box, because it doesn't come in a box. Software stopped coming in boxes a long time ago. But by default, that's accurate. Custom objects. These are new objects that you create to store information unique to your application. Custom objects extend the functionality that standard objects provide. For our Battle Station construction app, we'll be using a custom objects exclusively. If you would like to know more about objects, fields, and relationships, and all sorts of other great stuff that was really cute and happy, check out our data modeling module after this project. I think I did this one. Yeah, I did. Data model. In our application, we use 3 custom objects. Battle Station. This will be our main object that tracks the status of the project, its supplies, and resources. Resource. projects are about doing stuff, and you need resources, that is, people, to do stuff. We'll use the resources custom object to track the number of people working on the construction project and how much time they are committed to it. And we'll also book in time for them to rest and not get overly taxed on their bodies, because we're that sort of company. Supply. You also need supplies and equipment to build a battle station. We'll use this object to track our supplies and their costs. If you like ERD diagrams, and honestly, who doesn't, this is what our object relationship looks like. We're going to build these objects now. Okay, what's really fun for me about learning this, I think this was one of the first modules projects written in a company. Like, I think this one's pretty old. And so a lot of this incredible, funny stuff is here. It gets hard to imitate it, and you can't do all of Trailhead this way. Because if you can't, not everybody can be funny, and if you can't be funny and you try to be funny, it's not funny. It's just pathetic. So this is just fun to see something as creative like this. Great writing. Okay, battle station custom object. Makes me want to go rewrite that project I'm working on. This really started off with a fun premise. I think that's the main thing. You can't always start off with a fun premise. You could find something fun about the premise. But Trailhead's about learning, so just teach. Be okay that you're not funny. I'm okay with that I'm not funny. Sorry, this is turning into self-help. Battle station custom object. In the previous step, we built our battle station custom object. Now, we need to make custom fields for that object. Click the setup icon and setup. This launches set up a new tab. Come on. Click the object manager next to home. Select battle station. Select fields and relationships from the left nav and click new. Now we're ready to make a custom field. Let's do this. Oh, so supportive. See? 3 steps. That's brilliant. Step 1, add a project status field. When managing a project, one of the key metrics is status. Nothing looks worse than your boss asking you how the project is going and you don't know. It makes for a very dark day. You'll create a pick list field that users can select from a predefined list of available statuses. Why is statuses, not statusi? Whatever. Create the project status field as follows. For data type, select pick list, then click next. I see. Here's what we're doing. We're creating project statuses. Okay, data type. Select pick list. And select next. Field label, project status. Check the radio button next to enter values, with each value separated by a new line. Enter the values of the pick list, 1 per line. Green, yellow, red, complete. Display values alphabetically, not in the order entered. Unchecked. Good, got that. Use the first value as Use the first value as default. Use the first value as default value checked. I don't know that you'd really. I mean, I'll do it, but would you want green to be your assumption that everything's fine? That's overly optimistic to me. I think red should be the default value. Everything's miserable. Unchecked the restrict pick list to the values defined in the set box. Uncheck the restrict pick list to the values defined in the value set box. Okay. So by unchecking this, this allows other people to put in other values. That can get hairy fast. Leave the default to the remaining fields. Click Next. Click Next again to accept the default field visibility and security settings. I like that they gave me that information and that they didn't just tell me click Next. Click Save and New to add the project status field to the page layout. Save the project status field and return to the first step of the wizard. I hate the word wizard. Add a weapons status field. The main purpose of a battle station is to blow stuff up. We needed to keep track of weapons, primarily the planet destroying type, and what their current status is. Similar to the project status, you'll create a pick list field so that users can select from a predefined list of available statuses. Create the weapons status field as follows. For data type, select pick list and then click Next. This is such a good unit. Field label weapons status. Click the radio button next to enter values, each value separated by a new line. Enter the following values for the pick list, one per line. Not yet operational. And fully operational. That's really like a either or, isn't it? Display values alphabetically, not in the order entered. Unchecked. Use the first value as the default value. Checked. Okay, that makes sense. Because we're building the stuff. Uncheck the restrict pick list values. Pick list to the values defined in the value set box. Leave the defaults for the remaining fields and click Next. Click Next again to accept the default field visibility and security settings. And click Save to add the weapons status field to the page layout. Save the weapons field status field and return to the Battle Station Custom Object page. I like that they gave me all of that information. That was so nice. See how cool that was? And they just say click Next or Save. And then where did I end up? They told me. Excellent writing in this. Resource Custom Object. When building a battle station, you have to have resources to actually do the work. I'm sorry, to do the actual work. There's no magical force flowing through the universe that will do it for you. You need people and a way to track their usage. That's what our resource object will do. My God, this is such good writing. Click Setup. This launches Setup in a new tab. Click the Object Manager next to Home. Let me just click that instead. Click Create on the Create drop-down and then select Custom Object. Create Custom Object. resource. Resources. I'm going to put this in the description just because I like this writing so much. Okay, just like long sentence. Shorter sentence. 2 phrases, single phrase. It's just like, bam. Love it. Okay, record name, resource name. There we go. Click Allow Reports checkbox and save. Now create a custom tab. Click the Home tab and enter tabs. And quick find to find tabs. Home. Come on, computer. Under Custom Object tabs, click New. And we're going to do this for the resource object. And now we need to find, is it primarily going to be people? People. For the object, select resource, tab style, selecting the icon, that's the important part. Click all the defaults as is, click next, next, and save. Okay. Next. You may not see this off the screen. There's a next button and a save button on the bottom right, which the way I'm recording just doesn't show up. Okay, now we have to create a couple of fields like we did in the battle station. With the battle station, click the Object Manager tab next to Home and select the Resource Custom Object. Select Fields and Relationships and click the new button. I got a text and I got my distraction. I lost my train of thought. Okay, click the Object Manager next to Home and click Resource. Object Manager. Resource. Okay, and Fields and Relationships and New. The resource name tracks the type of crew we need: plumber, exhaust port inspector, massage therapist. So now we need a field that determines how many resources of each type we need. Create the quantity field as follows. For the data type, select number and then click Next. Number. There it is. Quantity. Ensure there's always a number entered in this field by checking the required checkbox. Always require a value in this field in order to save a record. Leave the defaults of the remaining fields and click Next. Click Next again. To accept the default field visibility and security settings, and click Save and New. To add the quantity field to the page layout, save the quantity field and return to the first step of the wizard. Oh, this is incredible instructions. Step 2. Add a utilization field. When resources are working on a project, they may not be committed full time. They may work 50% on one project and 50% on another, for instance. This is a resource utilization, and it's important to track when you want to look at metrics and scheduling. Create the utilization field as follows. For data type, select percent and click Next. And then we're going to label it utilization. And click. Ensure that there is always a field by clicking the required checkbox. Oops, previous. Next. And again, default and save anew to go back to the first step. Resources are assigned to work on a specific battle station, so we need to create this relationship between the objects. Resources are assigned to work on a specific battle station, so we need to create this relationship between the objects. Resources are assigned to a specific battle station, right? Okay, so we need to make a relationship between the two. That makes sense. You'll be creating a master detail relationship from resources to battle station. From resources, right? Resources work on battle stations. This creates a special type of relationship between two objects, the child or detail, and another object, the parent or master. Master-detail relationships can be used whenever there is a tight binding between two objects. For example, consider a blog and a blog post, and blog posts. If the blog is deleted, the blog posts should go too. Plus, the relationship provides all sorts of extra benefits. We'll go on one of those in a second. Create the battle station relationship field as follows. For data type, select master detail relationship, then click Next. Master detail relationship. This was just a fantastic description of it too. That was so easy to understand. First, select battle station from the related to pick list. All right, because we're creating on the resource for the resource object, we're connecting it to battle station. Click Next. Should default to battle station. Field name battle station. Boom. Leave the defaults for remaining fields. Click Next. Accept the default visibility and page layout and save. The related lists of the battle station records to the page layout. We'll go into that in detail in a second. Save the battle station field and return to the resource custom object page. God, this is great writing. This brings us to our last custom object. To build our battle station, we need supplies and equipment such as a cosmetic wave generator, donuts, armor wax, laser guns, mustache wax, and such. This stuff costs money, so we want to track our costs to make sure they stay under budget and are not called into the boss's office. To get back to the Object Manager, click the Setup icon, Setup Object Manager tab. Click on the Object Manager tab next to Home. Click Create, drop down, and select Custom Object to get started again. This should feel very familiar to you by now. Okay, yeah. The other way to do it is just to go on Object Manager. Sorry. Just go right there. Create Custom Object. Label Supply. Plural supplies. check allow reports checkbox. Down here. And then click Save. Now create a custom tab. And click the Home tab, enter tabs, and then tabs. Still open for me, thank you very much. Under Custom Object tabs, click New. For Object, select Supply. This is the hard part. Supplies. A hammer. A hammer is a good supply. Leave all the defaults as is and click next and save. Next. Next. And at the bottom right here, save. Okay, now we have to create a couple of fields like we did with the battle station. Click the Object Manager, tab next to Home, and select the Supply Custom Object, select the Fields and Relationships, and click New. Okay. Out of quantity, when we order light bulbs or armor wax, we need to track the quantity. Create quantity field. God, this is so good. Number. Quantity. Ensure there's always a number entered in this field by clicking the Require checkbox. And then we want to encourage our users to order at least 2 of any supply. Well, it's like backup, so we'll set the default value to 2. Leave the defaults for the remaining fields and click next again, and click Save and New. Next, next, Save and New. Add a unit cost field. We need to record how much each unit of our supply equipment costs. For instance, if we order 1,000 inflatable bath toys, we want to track that they are $2.75 each. So random. Create the unit cost field as follows. For data type, select currency and click next. Unit cost. $16 to length decimal places. Ensure there's always a number by doing the required thing. Got that. Leave the defaults and click next, and save and new. Fine. Now that we have the quantity of each item and the unit cost of each item, you obviously want to know the total cost for all items. Instead of manually calculating these costs, quantity times unit cost equals total, you can let the Salesforce platform do the work for you using a formula field. These fields are calculated at runtime, much like formulas in a spreadsheet. They make life so much easier. Create the total cost formula field as follows. For data type, select formula and click next. Data type, select formula and next. Field label, total cost. Currency. Decimal place is 2. There we go. All there. Total cost. Good, good, good. Since we want to see the total cost for each supply record, enter the following formula. Quantity times unit cost. Click the check syntax buttons. Then click next. And click save and new. Add a battle station field master detail relationship. Just like resources with supplies, we need to relay them to specific battle stations record using a master detail relationship. Supplies are used on specific battle stations. Create the battle station relationship as follows. For data type, select master detail relationship. This is getting a little boring. It's cute, but it's boring. Select the battle station relationship, battle station, and then fine. Play 2, battle station, next. Field name, there it is. Leave the defaults for the remaining fields and click next, and click next to assign the page layout, and click save. Next, 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 and save. Okay. That was a lot of work, but we're finally done. Fortunately, that was most of the time consuming part of our building application. That was the most time consuming part. That was the most time consuming part of building our application. Boom. Cool. Thanks for watching.